This is your man Global, and I'm back. And today we're going to be doing something different, but somewhat the same. But like, how many out there actually think about or probably seen the process of making gold coins? I know with my background in industrial engineering and mechanical engineering, I know this may be pretty interesting because I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, let's watch this. So, out searching the good old YouTube, and I found this one video that's quite interesting. And tell you what, let's give it a shot and let's watch it. And let's do this. Like I said, let's go ahead and switch it up here. And this is the video. It's the Royal Canadian Mint Gold Processing and Minting, of course, English version. But I think this video was made in the 90s, somewhere maybe 98, probably. I couldn't find a lot of information. I do know it's from the Discovery Channel, and that's back when the Discovery Channel actually showed some cool stuff. Not to get on a tangent, a lot of these channels started off doing great things, and then all of a sudden it went to this reality stuff, and now here I am in reality trying to tell you stuff. But anyway, enough of that. But hey, since you're here, hope you like what you see. Go give me a really cool like and follow. That really helps the page. And without further ado, let's get started.
The strongest competitor to the US for gold coins is Canada. To see how gold coins are made, we took our cameras to the Royal Canadian Mint in Ottawa. There's some resemblance to the manufacture of other coins, but there are also major differences. Okay. All the emphasis is on quality, not quantity, and it starts with the raw material.
And also, like I said, my background is in industrial quality mechanical engineering, and I have to say, back then, Canadian Mint did do a lot of great stuff, but I think this was the year, no, it was, I think it's later on where their cleaning process messed up. That's why we have a lot of milky maples, and some of the Canadian gold coins has a higher concentration of copper, so it has more of a copper tone to it, rose looking almost. But anyway, I didn't mean to cut it off, but let's keep going.
Gold arrives at the mint from mines around the world in an impure form. It must be refined, which is a slow and a dangerous process. First, the gold is melted so that a sample can be taken and analyzed.
Do we know how many mints around the world, or I say mining camps around the world? Do we really know? There's a lot. And if you know a few, leave a comment below. I like to know. I know a few, but I like to know more. You know, we're all here for learning about gold and silver, and for some of the new people that really know gold gets mined, but what's the process of mining gold to get it to this process? But I'm gonna keep the video going. This is really cool. I mean, I wish I can have a tour of a place like this in person. If I ever get a chance to get a tour like this in person at one of these refinery, Royal Canadian Mint, Perth Mint, the US Mint, the Korean Mint, I would love to like get in one of these tours if they give those now. So let's keep going.
Impurities. These ingots may contain anywhere from 10 to 70% other metal, mostly silver. To remove these impurities, the ingots must be refined even further. So the molten gold is infused with chlorine gas. The fumes are poisonous.
Get that
and must be
super hot
carefully
furnace
vented
going.
away. The chlorine causes the impurities to separate out and rise to the surface, where they can be skimmed off.
Okay. Yeah.
What remains is 99.5% pure gold.
Ah, you know what that 5% is? That's that nickel and everything else they couldn't pull out. But we all know Royal Canadian Mint's known for getting those 4 nines.
Mints around the world never reach. But the mint demands even greater purity. So they cast the gold in small, flat bars to prepare it for another level of refining.
Look at that thing.
Parts of the refining process haven't
Hot
changed
work going on.
in centuries, but others have. That includes the next step, electrolysis.
Electrolysis.
Only a few mints in the world refine gold by electrolysis because it takes so long. Titanium plates must be lowered into a bath of acid. The gold bars are hung next to the plates from hooks of gold. When an electric current passes through the bath, it causes the gold particles to migrate onto the plates. The other metals will sit
Exactly.
at the bottom.
Gold plating.
It takes 2 days to complete the process, but the crumb-like layer that now coats these plates is 999.9 thousandths pure gold.
Wow. That's where they get that 4-9 from. Just dissolve the gold down to like it's
even further, but most of it will be melted and cast into ingots to make coins and bullion bars. Some moisture still clings to the gold and it must be dried off. Otherwise, the gold would explode in the furnace.
yeah, just like oil and water.
A fireproof funnel
Oil and water don't mix, so when they heat it up,
Inevitably, some of the gold will splatter onto the floor.
When you walk through the refinery, the floors are black. There's a purpose for that. If it shines and it's on the floor, it's gold, and it will be swept and it will be recycled.
hey, we can't lose profit. So just like for some of you, you gentlemen and ladies out there doing some of this stuff at home, yeah, that's all money splashing out there. So be sure to keep a nice work area and sweep up after that stuff. You know, you don't want to lose any dollar bills. You don't want to lose any single coin on that. You know, so.
Gold this pure is extremely heavy. Each ingot weighs 50 pounds.
Ooh, 50 pounds.
The market value of gold changes daily. On this day, this ingot is worth a cool $240,000.
140,000. Hold on. We got to do the math on this. So if it's 240,000 back then, all right, let's get our are we smarter than a fifth grader knowledge out. So one pound is 16 ounces. So 16 ounces to say 50 pounds. 16 ounces times 50, that's 800 ounces. 800 ounces. So 800 ounces back then. So we take the 240 divided by, I think I might have to look it up a little bit. No, I think gold back then was probably between 300 to 350 an ounce. So that's $300 an ounce. $300 an ounce. I think that comes out to be like 30 to 40 cents a gram. Wow, gold was cheap back then, was it? So with that being, so we got, that gets to the 240. So yeah, $300 an ounce. All right, doing my math here, you know, like I said, I'm got the pad out. So today's price as of today, this is what, November the 15th? November the 12th. November the 12th. So check your calendars. So I think gold prices today is 1772.30, where it closed at on Friday. So 1772.30 times the 800 ounces total. Today, that gold is worth $1,417,840. Man, I tell you what, I mean, that shows like the value of gold, and like it's held its value. It's gone up. It's not as low as silver, which is very undervalued. But man, that is where, if gold was 300, I do believe, I need to look that up. That means silver was probably what, $4 an ounce back then. Just imagine if some of us were collecting that. I know some of y'all have, but just imagine if some of us were collecting some of that stuff back then. I mean, back in 98, I was what, 19 years old. So I knew about it. I bought some things, but I didn't like buy it because it was just like, oh, you know, I had, 18, 19-year-old. I'm like over here trying to buy a car and, do that other fun stuff, heading out to the movies, going to Blockbuster and renting that movie for the date on Friday night. But anywho, that's here nor there. That's just aging me a little bit. But man, that is wild. $1 million today. That one brick bar that they had in there, it was $1,417,840, and give or take a few change here and there. Man, that's wild. That is super wild. Let's keep going. I didn't mean to bore you with the fifth grade math. Y'all deal with coins and gold and silver, platinum, all that. You got to know your conversions here. You got to know your conversions. I always said, well, I'm never going to use this again. And look at me now. Look at me now. Anyway, let's keep going.
The gold ingots must now be rolled into the thickness of a coin. But the gold would shatter if they tried to flatten it all at once. So it will be sent through this rolling mill 12 times. Each time, the ingot is compressed nearly 10%.
Flatten it. Gold is soft, but it takes a lot of pressure.
It's thinner. The pressure can be reduced.
Ooh, look at that.
50 tons.
You know how much heat is created from this?
Tons.
Being a nerd now, once again, I'm being a nerd.
30 tons. The pressing has made the gold too hot to handle with bare hands.
Look at that press. Wow, look at that.
By now, the original 11.5-inch long ingot has been rolled out into a strip 12 feet long. It's become too thin to be
Plus, you don't want to touch it. Get them oily fingerprints on it.
But it's still too thick to make coins. So it must be pressed several more times. Both gold and silver are rolled on these mills. To avoid contamination, the machine must be washed down.
Clean
whenever the
workspace
metal
makes for a
changes.
good workspace.
The gold is now approaching the right size for coins. It must be precisely 2.87 millimeters thick, give or take just a tenth of a millimeter.
Look at that.
Now the gold can be stamped into blanks.
The care's taking in some of this stuff. Oh, why are you touching it with your hands?
The blanks are now ready for the coining
Oh, well.
press.
Oh, she's got little finger thingies on there. I
Gold
didn't
is
see
very
that.
soft. The coins are
Look at that.
large and the design is intricate, so they must be struck at enormous pressure.
A lot of pressure.
133 tons. That's more than twice the tonnage needed to strike a U.S. quarter.
This is their old process. They got other processes that make it
The
all
Mint makes
holographic
less than
and stuff.
700,000 of these gold coins annually. This is the Mint's best-selling gold coin. The 1-ounce gold maple
Yep,
leaf.
I was
worth
right,
about
$300.
Every single coin
Just
gets
ima-
inspected
oh, man.
after it leaves the press by every
Shoulda, coulda,
worker who
wouldas.
handles it.
Now this is where
The
that
fine
quality
check of the
control
coin's
comes in
weight
at.
is done not by hand, but at an automated workstation. The process is much more efficient this way. Any coin whose weight is off by more than just 1.5 thousandths of an ounce will be rejected and remelted. Because the market in gold coins is so competitive, every mint, including the U.S. Mint, looks for ways to distinguish its products. The Canadian Mint stresses the purity of its gold, and it also makes innovations. One of the Mint's most unusual
see? They're talking
products
about
is
the
a
holograph
gold
stuff. Look at
hologram
that.
coin. The design is struck just a few microns deep, and it scatters the light.
Ah, nice.
But ultimately, it's not a gold coin's design or purity that attracts a collector. It's something more.
The collector wants perfection. He's not buying an ounce of gold. What he's buying is a work of art in itself that is on precious metal, but he's buying a higher value than just the metal content.
All right, now
And that
here's something.
higher
Are you the
value, which
collector?
ultimately is the
Are you the
finished coin,
stacker?
has to be
Or
perfect.
the prepper, depending. It just depends. So are you one of those? Like, I'm a hybrid. I'm a collector, but sometimes I don't care if it has some imperfection, especially if I'm stacking it. Now, if I have some my higher end coins, gold coins and silver coins, yeah, it's perfection. It's a collection thing. But if I'm just stacking, man, that thing can have a bullet hole in it. I'm just throwing it in the stack and it's just going to be there for stacking. But hey, once again, are you a collector? Are you a stacker? Leave a comment below if you are. Well, that was quite interesting. I guess it didn't go too in depth. I'm pretty sure that was like a 30-minute, 45-minute episode on this stuff, and it probably goes more in depth on designs and how it's designed, who designed it, and whatnot. But hey, I really hope y'all like that. This, like I said, I was doing something different today, more of a reaction to gold and silver stuff, which I'm gonna do more of those too. But hey, also check out the page. Check these little things out. I throw little stuff up all day long. You know, not all days. Some days, you know, sometimes we got to do the other stuff to pay the bills too. We still need that paper money to pay the bills. If we ever go back to the trade and bartering system to pay the bills and pay, you know, buy, and maybe that's when our gold and silver. And I got a horse outside I traded for 3 of your cows, so But anyway, this is your man Global. Thank you for showing up. Please give me a like and follow below, and we're going to keep this thing going. But hey, thanks again. Y'all be good. Peace out.